Hey everyone, how's it going? And welcome to another podcast. I'm here with Joey.
Hey again.
Um, we,
I'm
uh,
I'm I'm in lazy mode, so
yeah,
please disregard my appearance.
most of us are. Um, Oscar wasn't able to join us. He's not feeling well. He not from the COVID, from something else, but he's under house arrest of going to bed early and things like that. So hopefully he'll get better and join us next week. It's been a minute since we've done the podcast. Apologies for that, but you know, the world happened, and I know we've all been sort of in disarray. Joey's had some crazy stuff going on. Oscar has because he's in school as well as working, or was, and so that sort of was a whole thing. And then I was at work, and now I'm not. But the I'm still employed, luckily.
Yeah,
But I should clear that up.
I was
But
like, unless
I work
unless
at
I
a
haven't heard
school.
anything in the past
Yeah, I work at
few
a
days.
school, so luckily I'm able to be at home and still get paid. As of right now, we'll find out in the coming weeks if that stays the case. But just I had some other stuff also simultaneously going on, as well as I decided to just take a couple days of relaxing for a little bit as well, take advantage of it. But hopefully we'll be back on track here, and I got some video ideas that maybe will be coming up. We might talk about that today as well. So be pretty cool. Before we get into this, as always, if you guys are looking for forcible singles or sealed product, be sure to visit Happy Little Hug Factory in the link in the description below. They have pre-orders for the next set, Alice Origin 3, as well as pre-orders for Ghost in the Shell starter deck. Their Ghost in the Shell booster box pre-orders are sold out. They might get more of those, but as of right now, the pre-orders sold out. If you guys don't know, when you go and click on a pre-order for something on Happy Little Hug Factory, there's a quantity on there, and as long as you pre-order within that quantity, you're pretty much guaranteed that product, which is pretty cool. And some side things I wanted to mention that they also have on the site. They got 5 boxes of Force of Will as Advent of the Demon King booster box for only $30 each. If you guys want to get in on that, make sure to check that out super quick. They got in, I believe, a new shipment of Alice Origin 2 booster box, which they have 42 of in stock. They still have all of the star decks, I believe, in stock as well, if you guys ever need some of the star decks. And I noticed they randomly had 1 box of New Dawn Rises for some reason there, so in case you guys wanted that randomly. And they are down to only 8 of the Ghost in the Shell star deck as well, so if you want that, make sure to get that quick. Like I said, they're out of the booster box itself. But yeah, and make sure you click that link in the description when you make the purchase, so they know we sent you over as well.
Speaking of the new set, I thought we were getting spoilers soon here.
Yeah, so Oscar had timed that, and he said last week technically is when we would have originally seen spoilers, and we didn't get that. So my guess would be sometime this week we start spoilers. If not, I'm not sure what's going on. If they're skipping
I mean,
spoilers.
do you think like is Japan being hit by
Yeah.
by? I mean, maybe it's like they're suffering, similar issues. Of,
Well, I
not
don't know
being
if
able
the
to get
printing
stuff out.
facility is in Japan though. I can't remember if it's the one in Japan or the one that's they have a couple of different ones they've gone to, but it would depend on the printing location, I would assume. But yeah, that is something to not something to expect, but something that to look out for. Is there is a chance that both Ghost in the Shell and Alice Origin 3 could be delayed because of this whole thing, because even if the printing isn't delayed, shipping is a good chance that could be delayed because of different things with customs and all that could affect it now. So we've already seen companies like Magic proactively delay things with just ahead of time, assuming that, or not assuming, but knowing that people won't be able to do pre-releases and events and things like that, so they went ahead and delayed them, since it takes away from the whole point of releasing a card game product at that time. So I wouldn't be surprised if Force of Will does it as well, but it's hard to tell because it is a smaller company. I don't know which is the better option for them, to hold on to product that's not selling, or to release it but not sell as much. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a hard one. It's I guess it also depends on like where in the development stage and stuff they're at.
Yeah. Well, I'd assume it's already been printing for a little bit here, considering the release is in 3 weeks, right? Something like that. So, I'll be curious to see what happens to that. But definitely keep an eye out, and we'll keep you guys updated as well. There hasn't been, luckily, we haven't done the news or the podcast in a couple weeks here, but there hasn't been too many crazy things in the card game world outside of stuff being delayed and different things like that. So, but if any major news comes out, we'll let you guys know in that regard.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah. But one nice thing that's come out of this that Oscar had wanted to talk about was Lackey, which, if you guys know, we've always preferred playing on Lackey, but the plugin we use was no longer being updated, so we had to switch to Untap. And Untap right now just can't handle the amount of people on it, so there's constant problems with it, disconnects, different things like that. And luckily, somebody came through and made a brand new Lackey plugin for Force of Will. I totally forgot to grab his name here. The guy who did it. If you happen to be watching this, comment below so we can.
I can get it. I can get it real quick, I think.
But yeah, he made a new plugin. It has all the cards except for OG Valhalla, which isn't too big of a deal. And he's in the process of also doing little tweaks and updates to it with community feedback, I believe, as well. So that's super awesome. Oscar already went and updated our YouTube video on how to install Lackey and its plugin with the new plugin link. So make sure to check that out. If you guys have never used Lackey or its plugins, be sure to go check out our YouTube video describing it so you guys can get involved with that as well. I believe it's on the front page of our website as well, TCGScrubs.com.
Yeah, and hopefully, like, Lackey, as, I don't know, more stable or less people are going to jump on it. So hopefully it won't crash as much as Untap, because, you know, the same thing could happen with Lackey that's happening with Untap.
Yeah, but Untap has a wider net of people who play things like Magic and Pokemon that Lackey just doesn't have. So I think it'll be easy to withstand that.
So the link was to Cyber Nijiji, which I don't think is the guy, but so I'm sorry. I thought it would, you know, have his name inside of it and stuff. But so unfortunate. Yeah. But yeah, we'll you know. Those people? No. Okay. Anyways, yeah. Sorry, we don't know who the hero of Lackey is.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely way more excited. You know, that Lackey's back up and running. I always thought it was a lot easier and a lot simpler. It's a lot more intuitive in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm excited about that as well. I have to go install it still real quick, but I'll be able to just throw my decks in and stuff hopefully pretty easily. So I'm pretty excited about it. So if you guys were fans of Lackey or haven't played Lackey but aren't a fan of Untap, be sure to check that out. We'll probably, I think Oscar had the idea for the Patreon podcast to Joey and I to do a Lackey game, so we might do that if I can get it installed in time for us to play. But that would be a lot of... I'm pretty excited because Lackey was a lot of fun. And plus, Lackey makes it possible for us to do epic stories with multiple people, which I really miss doing. We would just have me, Joey, Oscar, and Melissa get on and stuff like that and play epic stories. So I'm excited about that. And if any of you guys or any of our patrons and stuff like that want to do a multi-epic stories game with us, make sure to let us know because that would be a lot of fun, I think.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm able to import my old decks from Lackey into the new Lackey plugin, then maybe we'll do an Epic Stories game.
Yeah, my Lackey decks are on my other computer, so I don't have any like decks in Lackey, but I can go on to Untap. I'm pretty sure I can recreate the deck really quick.
Yeah.
So I should have an okay list of stuff, except for Epic Stories. But you know, I'll be able to make a new deck, which would be pretty fun.
Mm.
But anyways, yeah, we're all pretty excited about Lackey coming back.
Yeah. Additionally, one thing I wanted to talk about was GPs and organized play in general. So, one thing, if you guys have been following, you've noticed that other games, as far as you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember a note, but I believe Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Pokemon all delayed or essentially deleted their bigger organized play GP-like events. Pokemon went as far as to pretty much cancel everything, including down to local store events as well, a while back. And I'm not sure what the sort of mid to low size game communities are doing. If they're also, have you seen any of that, Joey, with some of the other games?
No, not really. I do know that there's a lot of I've heard varying things of people's LGSs like either shutting down or doing some kind of like curbside thing, or just a lot of.
Yeah, our LGS was pretty cool, and yeah, she's doing curbside and is temporarily doing delivery to houses and surrounding areas and stuff like that, which has been pretty cool. But yeah, so the one thing that I noticed was that the Force of Will GPs, obviously Force of Will, the company hasn't said anything as far as like, hey guys, be careful or don't go to locals or anything like that. And I don't think they'll ever make any type of statement like that. But the GPs none of them have changed schedule, and mainly the one that is closest to us, which happens May 2nd and 3rd, if I remember correctly. 2nd, 3rd, 3rd, 4th, somewhere around there, is still happening. And that one is within the cushion of the CDC advisory of not having events with 50 or more people. So they did a poll on the Facebook group asking people if they should wait till like mid to late April to decide whether the event's happening just right now, postpone it right now, or I forget what some of the other options are. The highest voted one was to wait till mid to late April and then decide on postponing it. So what were your thoughts on those different options, Joey?
I mean, I think looking at it's unfortunate to say, but looking at the response my work has done, other people's work has done, stuff like Disneyland and yada yada yada. There's a lot of people who might say that people are taking like an overreaction. I agree that it should be postponed. I think it's the most. It was the most upvoted
most upvoted was wait till April to decide.
Yeah. Yeah, I think waiting, and then even just canceling might have been a better option, because it'll lead people to not have to buy tickets or it'll let people plan a little easier. But on the other hand, let's say you say wait until mid-April, see how it goes. I don't think it's going to get better for another couple of months. But if you do wait until April, and then maybe there's an advisory that it's okay to have more like larger gatherings, plane flights will probably still be cheap, so it could be fine that way. But personally, I think probably most to all GPs or like card games should be canceled and stuff.
Yeah, well, I think at minimum, like you were saying, this one coming up here that's within that 8-week cushion should be canceled, just because it's already within the cushion, and now with the extension of the quarantine, like the nationwide stay-at-home quarantine being extended till literally like 2 days before the event happens, it's better to cancel, because then you don't have to worry about people buying tickets and making plans and then having to cancel them and not buying insurance on the plane ticket. So they can't get a refund, or just all these different scenarios. But even outside of that, it's still very close to this whole thing happening. So there's literally no scenario that I can think of where this gets better by the May 2nd. Not to, I'm not trying to disparage anyone or anything who's thinks the event should go on or anything like that. But I think it's best just to like, hey, this, this is literally a worldwide pandemic. Let's wait a minute on this Forcible GB, because card game events are a little bit different than, say, hey, let's all get together at this 50-person event. At a card event, everyone is touching each other's cards and very close vicinity to each other, which they've shown that the coronavirus can temporarily become airborne in rare instances as well. And you have people, if we're being honest, part of the card game community are not known to be super hygienic for washing hands and different things like that. And it's just a whole list of things that could go wrong. So I don't think it's... And with coronavirus symptoms potentially not showing up for up to 2 weeks, you could have someone go there who feels perfectly fine. They give it to someone else who also feels perfectly fine, who then goes home and says hi to their mom or someone who's way more susceptible to the disease. And then because we had this force of will event, so somebody gets sick and or worse happens. So I think at least for the May one, it's safe to say that one should be postponed, and the other one's obviously looked into at some point, which obviously is unfortunate. I was hoping to attend both the one in May and the other one that Games and Geek are running, because those will be really probably well-run events that Games and Geek is known for doing, but... Yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's. I feel like it's a touchy subject for a lot of people, for sure, because again, they might think this is an overreaction or something like that. I completely agree with you, Colin. Like, this is an actual like pandemic. It's like I think we're still in a state of emergency. Like,
yeah,
and it's not going to go away anytime soon. And I think all the points you brought up about touching cards, it's just constantly like, oh, can I see your card? Can I shuffle your deck? Like it's all a very good argument, and I have to agree. Like it's a little, it's just a little I don't want to go too far and be like, oh, it's irresponsible of these people to just not postpone this stuff or just not straight out cancel it, or so I don't like. I mean, I kind of already said it, but anyways, I'm just kind of like I did totally agree. It's just there's a bunch of stuff like my work canceled, like a golfing event, which could totally be done, but it's like there's a bunch of stuff that's been canceled. There's a bunch of stuff that it's just yes, it would be nice to have like Forceful be coming back and stuff, but this is like you said, it's a global, it's a pandemic where people are like,
yeah,
pretty crazy. So,
yeah, it's one of those things where it's just, yeah, I know, a lot of effort goes into one of these events and planning it and putting it on and stuff like that. So that kind of sucks, but it is, a pandemic.
Yeah, like weddings are being canceled, like everything is being canceled. It's kind of crazy to I don't like because like now I'm kind of starting to like come off as like being Colin and stuff, and like like it's crazy to think that that we're like above the above weddings or above this other 30-person event or this other 50-person event. It's like, no, like this is like there's like guidelines and everything for a reason. Like this is like an actual big deal. So
yeah, and also I think postponing it would also help the game as well, because you'll have a higher attendance of people who are able to come. The perfect example is me and Oscar aren't gonna go. I know I won't go. Like combination of my wife works at a hospital, so who knows if I could potentially accidentally get it and then I go to that event and spread it to people, or conversely, someone else has it, gives it to me, and I come home, and then I go and I help my mother-in-law move to her new house or something like that. I guess that would have already happened, but do something with her, and then give it to her by accident, who's more at high risk and stuff like that. So, like, I just won't be attending any of these types of events until after this is over, and I know a lot of people are probably in a similar boat, so I think postponing it would give a higher attendance, which will help the game out. If you do it during this event, during this outbreak, not only does it kind of stand out, especially among other card games canceling, as like, oh, but Force Will really wants to do it, but you also do it, and then you'll have a low attendance, and so it's like, who's winning in that scenario type of deal. But
Yeah.
so we'll see, because I'm curious also. I hope Force Will Company ends up making some sort of announcement. I assume they would if obviously the product ends up getting delayed in some fashion. But if they make some sort of announcement or recommendations for organized play or something like that, that would be good as well.
Yeah, and who knows? You know, this could all blow over in 3 weeks. I don't think so, but
no, it's not good. Not with the but so during this whole pandemic going on, we have a couple sort of one, you guys should let us know if there's any content you guys would like us to produce in the meantime, because like I said, the main two things we do is the podcast and the news, or at least I see those as the two main things we do, and both of those require things to be happening in card game world, which aren't really happening right now. So if you guys have ideas for other content you'd like to see us do, let us know. We'll be doing gameplay and stuff like that, obviously. I have one or two sponsored videos of different independent card games that'll be coming out here, that I'll be filming sometime this week, so that's something else to look forward to. But I'm hoping, if I have time here, I mean, I have time technically, but if I have enough time, because it actually requires a lot of time, to finally do my series, or finish my series of the Godzilla in-depth videos with the lore explained, and use that to cascade into Ghost in the Shell. I was hoping by this point, because Ghost in the Shell comes out on Netflix April 20th or somewhere around there. I was hoping by this point we would find out if this Ghost in the Shell series on Netflix is a sequel or prequel series to the other standalone complex series. So I know whether I should even make a lore video explaining standalone complex lore and all that leading up to the series, or if this is something completely new, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still... maybe I'll go perusing Reddit a little bit later tonight and see if anyone there has any info. But if it is, then I'll be making lore videos for Ghost in the Shell standalone complex after the cards are spoiled. Unless you guys would like just a standalone lore video that is not related to the cards. If you guys haven't seen it, my Godzilla lore video, what I did is I took each card, I explained the sort of lore behind it, like if it was a picture of like say there was one that was Mothra's song and it had the two fairies on it, so I explained, Mothra's song is the song that two fairies sing each time they want to summon Mothra, which happened in this movie and was alluded to in the new Godzilla movie, etc. And this card's ability does this, which it flavor-wise relates to Mothra's song because of this, blankety blank. So I could do the same thing for the new standalone complex 2045 set, but I would have to wait for the spoilers for that in order to do that. Or I could just do a general breakdown of the first two standalone complex series and use that as just a lead into the new thing. Or I could do a little bit of both, I guess.
I think a little bit of both sounds better to me. Yeah, and then we played like 2 games of that we threw up on from Untapped that I think are up already. But yeah, I like now with Lackey up, we should definitely try and get more gameplay out there, because I really enjoy doing gameplay. I just like, it's, I don't always have the chance to like play with the Oscar and stuff, and so I made like a really probably bad Valentina deck that I want to like test out more though, and like play more. So I would be excited to like start doing more gameplay and stuff. That's probably what Oscar and I are going to be focusing on if we decide to do more in the next week or so.
Yeah, like Oscar and I want to still do like things like our machine versus machine deck, where I play the old machines versus his new machines and stuff like that. So that'll be cool to do as well. And also Oscar and I will probably record a video just for funsies of us playing on the online client for Pokemon. Our old decks we used to have, we rebuilt our old decks when we used to play Pokemon, so might just do a for fun theme there and throw that up for anyone curious. So we'll see sort of what content comes out of this, and also let us know what you guys have been doing in this quarantine period. Have you been playing games in Untap, or still deck building, or have you sort of put that on pause and stuff like that? I'll be curious. What is your quarantine period been like, Joey?
Well, as you know, we didn't really talk about the fact that I went on vacation and stuff. I went on vacation like a week ago now to visit Colin. Huh?
Like 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Well, it's like 2 weeks ago when I started, but yeah. So I went to visit Colin and Melissa and Oscar, and we had plans to like go out to Houston because there was a Bite Ramen tournament, and that got canceled. So we didn't go out. We basically stayed in. We also had plans like go to museum, and then the museums are closed, and we had plans to like do this and that, and so basically, because of this whole pandemic and stuff, we basically stayed inside and did nothing, and we completely kind of slipped our mind that we should be getting the podcast done. So
yes,
as I think it was like Sunday. It was like Saturday or Sunday that we forgot about it. And then Monday rolled around and we forgot about it again. And then Tuesday was my flight back. So we just completely shit the bed on that. So that is our bad. It would have been pretty fun. But then, it's pretty funny because between then, when I left, like the world was kind of like, okay, we're just being careful. And like, I think the Tuesday that I got there, or like the Wednesday, it was like, all right, so non-essential businesses are shut down. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And, and so I was worried about getting laid off of work. But luckily, I'm working from home. So luckily, we're all kind of okay for now. But as far as like other stuff, I don't know, it's been interesting. It hasn't been changed too much, but just because I didn't really get out too much anyways. But yeah, it's my quarantine. I've been reading more books lately, so that's nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Colin?
Yeah, no, it was pretty fun when Joey came over. We did things like we did a 4-person commander game that ended up whittling down to just Joey and Melissa. And that game was over 4.5 hours long, right?
Yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah, Oscar really wanted to play Epic Stories, and I wanted to play Epic Stories too, but we didn't get to. And
we got drained out pretty hard from that 4.5 hour game.
I did not get drained out, and I don't think Oscar got drained out. I think Melissa was not having it, and I don't know about you, Colin. But
I was neutral. It was a long game. But
playing the Commander game definitely made me want to play Epic Stories too.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be able to try and make something out of that. But yeah.
Yeah, no. But it was fun having you out. And yeah, ever since that, it's just been a lot of hanging out at home. It sucks because I tell Joey this usually when I'm at home. I'll be like, okay. When I'm home by myself, I'll be like, all right, let me go and just do some stuff on my own. I'll go to Best Buy or something crazy like that. And now I can't do that, so I'm just sitting at home doing stuff like cleaning or whatever. And can't go to our locals anymore. So Oscar and I granted we hadn't been there in a little bit, just because life got a bit crazy, especially for Oscar doing school and work, and then different things like that. But so I kind of miss going there to our Mothership and hanging out there. So I'm excited to go there again once this is all over. But really nothing eventful happening for me. I'm probably going to start, since I have a little bit more free time, maybe I'll start streaming video games more on our channel, Scrubs Games.
Yeah, I should do that too.
Yeah, so if you guys are curious on watching video games during this time, I know everyone's streaming right now, so we probably won't really get anyone watching us, but I'm playing the games anyway, so might as well stream. So you guys check it out on Scrubs Game, twitch.tv/Scrubs Games. I believe it's linked in the description below as well, but
but we'll see.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else like Force of Will related? Because I think we were gonna kind of try and transition into just like how we've been doing kind of thing.
Yeah, I think that's all the Force of Will related stuff. Like I said, there hasn't been too much going on. I'm sure I've missed some stuff that's happened. I mean, so there's some one quick thing is if you guys are bored at home and want to get your Force Will fix, make sure to check out the OLS. It's where they do the online Force Will tournaments and stuff like that. So be sure to check that out. They usually post in the Force Will Global Facebook group and different things like that. Highly recommend that if you like playing online and like Force Will.
Yeah, it's fun, and there's a lot of good players too who are partaking in it. So
yeah,
it's good to play a lot of like good decks and stuff, and a lot of good players.
Yeah. So what did you want to talk about, Troy?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Just like I think we're pretty much good. Like,
How's
I think
how's TFT been treating you?
Oh, TFT. Oh, that's right. It's been enjoyable. I've actually like this set more than I like this set more than last set, and I might even like it more than the first set. But I kind of need to get like more into some of the like different I don't think I've ever gone Dark Star yet. So, actually though, I haven't really been playing Legends of Runeterra, unfortunately. I don't know why I've kind of like fallen off.
Oscar and I had talked about this. It's just the timing of everything. Like that released at the same time, a little bit before Earth mode came out. So we're all getting in on Earth mode on regular League, and then when Earth mode finished was when we somewhat transitioned into Modern Warfare, and then Warzone came out, and then All for One just came out on League, and we're also the new set of TFT came out. So like all these things keep coming out that we're like, ooh, and so we just have it like circled back around to Runeterra, because Runeterra out of all of them takes the most effort to like keep up with and all that stuff. So I think that's the easiest one to like, okay, we'll come back to you in a sec.
Yeah. Also, Bill, hi, Bill. He is watching it. I don't know if you caught all of our previous stuff. That was like the big chunk of Force of Will. Now we're kind of on to like talking about other, I don't know, video games and stuff. But my issue with Legends of Runeterra, and I also talked to, I also talked with Oscar about this. Like I much prefer having all the cards available to me so that I can try out different stuff and like be able to freely make decks. And while Legends of Runeterra does have pretty good reward system and stuff, it still is a grind. Like I've played probably like 10 hours to 12 hours of Legends of Runeterra, and I made I have like one possible deck that I can make, and like a little bit of like Like I can't really tweak it very much because I don't have any champions. So, and it's such a grind. Like I hate grindy games, and Legendary is pretty good.
I didn't feel it was too grindy. I like when I decided on the deck I wanted. I played several games, and I dropped like $10 or $20 in, and I had my deck plus a bunch of excess stuff. So I didn't feel it was too bad for in real life if you're like, hey, $20 to build like a pretty decent deck of your own making, like that's not too bad, I don't think. Considering it's a free to play game, yeah. I think their model is pretty good overall. Like I wish they had a mode, yes, where you could completely make a deck and go and play against bots, and you just can't play against real people with that deck, so you can at least test different things out with it and combos. I'd like a feature like that, yeah. But
yeah, it's just my issue is like I feel like I'm playing the game to unlock the cards, and which I don't want to do. I want to play the game because I have all the cards. It's something that like it's the reason I stopped playing Magic Arena. It's the reason I stopped like playing like Zach had me playing Eternal like 2 years ago, and like I played like I don't know a week or so of that. It's just not getting the cards just really bums me out, and every time I'm like playing, it's like okay, so I made this a deck, and then it's like but I want to make this other deck now, but I don't have any of the cards, and so now I need to play for 20 more hours, which means I need to like get on every day, and I need to get my I need to get my quest done, and then I need to do my expedition maybe, and then I need to do this, and then once I've done that, I'm like okay, cool, I cleared out my my rewards for the day, and but then it's like I wasn't really playing because I wasn't playing the decks that I wanted to play. I wasn't playing like that. I was playing just to grind out my special wins, and anyways, yeah. So yeah. That's like I was really excited for Legends of Runeterra. Like I still am. I still think the game is pretty fun. It's just a very difficult game to like grind out those cards for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I'm excited that Lackey's back. Bill agrees.
Yeah, I don't know what those two.
It's Final Fantasy X, which is the online. No, 10 is the one with Titus, and I don't know what the second one is. Bill, you'll have to elaborate. I don't think it's Diablo 3.
No, because Diablo doesn't have an A in it. But Dragon Age. Okay,
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's been it's nice to just go to something like Warzone is super fun right now. It's just like all right, we're all in, we'll go right in, or TFT. Although TFT, I place a little bit higher, not higher, but like higher than I was in ranked, and I think I hit where everyone's like doing rebels and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, now I'm seeing what the problem is. Like I just watched a Disguised Toast video where Disguised Toast is a good player, and he created a really cool comp, and he 3-starred 7 of his champions, and he only had 8 champions. And he still just lost to someone just because they went rebels, and I don't think that person had anything 3-starred either. And it's like, well, what is it like? I'll do that where I 3-star a bunch of stuff, and I have a pretty decent comp. I've been going to a Protector a little bit more recently and stuff like that. But as soon as I go against the Rebel player, I just lose. So I'm like, should I just stop playing this until after it patches? So I think I might stop playing until after.
They're patching it in like 2 days from now, I think. So
yeah, Wednesday.
So you don't have to wait long. But at the same time, the nice thing about those games, like the reason that I keep coming back to TFT and League is because TFT, like I can start up the game, and then I don't have to buy anything, or I already have access to everything in the game. same thing of similar thing to a league where you can start league and you have a healthy pool of like champions to start with, and the champions like rotate, so you can continually try new champions, and it is pretty simple to like buy new champions and stuff. And Warzone is really nice. It's because you drop in, you pretty much have the same abilities as everybody else. You know, you pick up guns and stuff. It's nice that, and it's an enjoyable, fun game mode too. You know, my only issue with Warzone is that some people's loadouts are like way more advanced than a lot of other people's loadouts. Like, you know, and I haven't really done my research on like, oh, okay, so probably the best gun is an M4 with a silencer, with a scope, with this, you know, tack grip on my grip, and this stock with 50 rounds of ammo. It's like, you know, I don't have that because I haven't leveled up my M4 to like level 60 or whatever. So that's my only issue with Warzone. But otherwise, you know, I like those games a lot more because it's you already get to play the game. With Legends of Runeterra, it's like I have to grind to play the game. Like, and yes, I made a deck, but now I want to tweak that deck, or I want to make another deck, and I can't. Like, I can't until another like 4 weeks. And if I want to get my champions, for example, then I need to grind out like my platinum weekly chest. And if I don't do that, then I don't get enough rewards. It's a lot of baloney. But anyways, we'll rant about Legends.
Yeah.
But those are kind of the games that we've been playing, in case anyone's interested.
Okay. Well, I think this will be a little bit of a shorter podcast, so we'll wrap it up there unless you have anything else to talk about.
No, I mean, I think we covered a lot of forceful stuff, a lot of other general video game stuff, how we're getting affected and stuff. Unfortunately, Bill, you know, you probably caught the tail end of us. But the other thing, although something forceful related that I remember Oscar brought up, it's like Force of Will, like Malaysia or something. The GP might be switching to online.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that.
What is it? Malaysia and Singapore government for venues. Forceful SGMY page will be holding their tournaments online on Untapped during this downtime. So yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I think yeah. Again, I was just about to say, I think that's a much better reaction to and like option for them. But
I think that's pretty cool.
I just wanted because I just remembered that was something that Oscar might have wanted to bring up if he was here. He has such a nice list and like butchered it.
But so we'll continue later on for the Patreon podcast at patreon.com/TCGScrubs. And we'll probably stream some games maybe, or I might a little bit later tonight over on Scrubs Games on Twitch. So thanks, guys, for joining or watching, and see you guys next time.
See ya.